please. Hello? May I have your attention, please?
You have to drop your trousers.
Get the music turned down. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, if we can have your attention, please. We need to get underway here. We do have a time limit this evening, which we didn't know. First of all, let me thank all of you for being here on behalf of Mikey and Samantha and Sheila and Babs, and for all of you. This really sucks, okay? We know that, but we're glad that we're all here, and we're glad to see everybody. And at this point, I'd like to get things underway. We have a few comments from a couple of people. We will keep this short and sweet and to the point. I would like, at this point, to introduce the widows Conello, Sheila and Babs.
Guys, I'm short. I believe Nick stole our best line when he said, "This sucks." We know this sucks. We were determined that this would be a fun and a typical Mikey evening so far.
Certainly loose.
And you know, we think that all of you should remember Mike in your own way, being happy, which I think it probably would be. If you can't get up here and make jokes, that's okay. We'd love you to say something about him, preferably something nice. My Aunt Dorothy asked, who's ill, very ill, asked specifically that I tell you this, that she said, make sure you tell them that I really loved that man, and we all did. Oh, God. Oh, sure. Okay, so you guys know that we put in today's paper this whole thing, you know, Michael Conello Memorial. You probably don't know because you were called. In the Chase Obits, it was Michael Conello Memorial Service, Jack Sugar Shack, Thursday, 7:30, Hollywood and Vine. Call 852-1887, which is one of our back lines, to get on the list. Which was like the appropriate obit, right? This afternoon, I haven't told Dorothy because she's been sick, right? This afternoon we get a call. Can I speak to Michael Conello, please? So suddenly, you know, everybody in the office goes deadly white, right? And there's a lot of the. So Bob took the phone and looked over at me and said, "It's Dorothy." Take the phone. She says, "Let me speak to Mikey." It's going to be a little hard. She bought it. She thought that Michael had put this in the paper as like a come on, for a gift tonight.
That makes sense.
So for Dorothy and for Michael, let's enjoy the gig. Babs.
I'm not so short. Wait a minute.
We're not going to do this tonight, are we?
I don't know, Sheila. I don't know. Another glass of wine. Mikey and Samantha, you know what? I could use a little help. Could you guys like just come be near me here? Come on, please.
I'll be down there.
Who are these scruffy looking? No. I give you Mike Conello Jr. and Samantha Conello. You have to stand here the whole time, but just stay close, okay? I prepared a little something.
Oh, sure, you cheated. Wow.
She did too. She just threw it out. Okay. All right. First of all, I want to thank you all for coming, I'm happy to see that so many people are wearing Michael's favorite color. And I'd like to make Sheila for making this memorial possible, and everyone else who pulled it together in literally 2 days' notice. We talked about doing a couple different things, but I'll paraphrase Michael in an interview that he gave last year. Hey, if we'd had more time to get things together, good taste may have won out. And thank you for laughing because I'm so nervous. For those of you who don't know, Michael and I were singing partners for the last 15 years, and a couple for 8. And just this last year, he asked me to marry him. He didn't like to rush things. And I said yes. During that time, we had a running philosophical debate on the subject of suicide. He was pro, I was con. But I think it's important to remember that he believed it was an option. Okay. I suppose he's made a point. But I'm so goddamn mad. He's left me with no forum in which to rebut. But what he has left me, I have just barely started to assess. The list includes 15 years of friendship and the privilege of working with a brilliant talent. Whether it was a music project or multiple episodes of Mike's Inferno. Our beloved children's project, The Adventures of Cat and Dog. The screenplay he was working on for the Wallace and Ladmo movie. Or just every day playing around. I know I will never find a creative partner to equal him. He also left me with 8 years of memories of the happiest, most loving relationship I've ever had, and the pleasure of knowing these 2 children, Mikey and Samantha, who have brought me much joy, especially this week. Yes, Mikey and I picked up his dad yesterday and took him for a ride. Yeah. He was pretty good company. We think it's because he's happy his weight's down. Yes, I did say that. Later on, Samantha's going to take him for a ride with the top down. He can't complain. Next week, we're taking him to Phoenix. I need to ask him if he wants a window or an aisle seat. Where a memorial tribute will be held on the Wallace and Ladmo stage of the State Fairgrounds. I understand why they need a place that large to gather to remember him. And I thank you all for coming. Thank you.
We have a couple of people who, actually more than a couple of people who have something to say this evening. I would be remiss if I did not make a comment or two. I, among a number of people in this room tonight, had the privilege of growing up with Mike. I watched him on television. I was one of his biggest fans. I couldn't believe the day I walked into a commercial audition some 10 years ago at Baker Nesbitt. And there was this short, dark man sitting in the corner. And I walked in, nodded to him, and then went, "Wait a minute, aren't you Mike Conello?" And he went, "Yeah," as only he could. And I went, "I gotta tell you something, I'm one of your biggest fans." And he did that combination vocal shrug laugh that he used to do, that kind of like thing. You know what I mean? And got slightly red-faced, and I went over and shook it. I said, "No, I'm serious. I loved all the work you did. I grew up on that show, and I'm thrilled to meet you." thank you very much. Do the audition, leave. A couple of years go by, and I end up working at Sheila Manning Casting.
I'm sorry.
I'm not. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my entire life, quite honestly. And part of that was the fact that Mike and I forged a friendship. Somebody who I admired for all of these years was now my friend. And a good friend. And one of the things that I'll be able to take with me my entire life now is the fact that not only did he make me laugh so many times over the years, but I actually made him laugh. And nothing thrilled me more than making him laugh. It wasn't an easy thing to do. But boy, when you nailed it, bam, it was there. I loved him, I will miss him desperately, but I have him in my heart and I will forever, as will we all. All right, let's move along with the next person. Pat Music is here. I saw her somewhere out there in the crowd. Pat, are you here? There you are. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Music.
Well, the best thing I have to say about Michael is that I never met him. I sat there yesterday and I thought back and I flaked off all the dead brain cells and I never met him, ever. We just knew each other from the beginning. We knew each other. And he was the best person for coming in off the street and being not only a receptacle, but a total trajectory for all of the politically incorrect stuff you could come up with. Boom! You know, and we just used to let fly with each other. It was absolutely, he was the light in the corner for me at all times. And so I've done something here that's made me extremely nervous, and I'm even shaking, and probably should have like improv something, but oh no, we had to write it down. And I haven't written a poem since high school, so this should be good. The dusty gray bus shifted down into low as it groaned up the last steep incline. The chanting of passengers broke at the sound of light laughter from a seat back behind. They all swung around as if one, as they glared at the section of such misplaced mirth. For surely this last ride should be made in prayer and reviewing each life's basic worth. They couldn't be blamed, for they just weren't prepared. For the lone soul reclined across 3 seats. For that edge and fast wit, the deft touch and the spark as he tickled the belly of the beast. Those dark eyes hit them full, and they froze in his look till he winked. Then they felt his warmth pour. Faces split with great grins, nervous titters burst forth, chuckles bubbled all over the floor. The bus crested the hill, and the laughter was heard by the tall one who opened the gate. And the rioting grew as he smiled them on through, while puzzling over their state. And each one who rode felt he alone had been touched by the man who had sat in the back. And each knew for a fact, just confirming the truth, that some angels always wear black.
Thank you, Pat. Now at this time, I'd like to bring up Susie Duff. Susie? There she is.
Well,